Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. So the last couple days we've been kind of just slow rolling, realistically, putting everything in here. We did put the clutch master, you just push it in. We did install those two engine mounts. This one is giving us trouble. And what else did we do yesterday? Is that it? Oh, we saw the suspension and upper control arms. The spindle front is still needs to be figured out. The brake proportion valve, Uncle Rigo, believe he had one, and he's doing some work at his house, and he might have misplaced it. So unfortunately, as far as that goes, we still don't have a proportionate valve. I might just have to go to the junkyard today and just kind of like pull one out. Those cars usually a dime a dozen at the junkyard, so I could just go cut off the brake lines and pull remove it with the 210s, and then I'll have a proportionate valve. The problem is that, they're online for a dime a dozen, and had I ordered one by now, I probably would have one, but they would just take it too long, and I'm just not too sure how, well, I kind of could figure how difficult that's going to be to install once the engine is in here, and I really wanted to get that done before the engine was here. I'm on a super tight time frame this morning, so I kind of want to get a lot done, but I feel like until that brake stuff is not in, that's just going to make a problem, especially if we're going to have to drill a hole and put a plug there. So we're going to go to the junkyard. Let's hop in the car, get some tools, make sure we have what we need, and go to the junkyard and get ourselves a proportionate valve. We got lucky. So this is the only CRV here that has the actual portion valve we need, because this is a 98. So these ones, or like that blue one back there, it's like an 01. So much shit here. So this blue one, the 99 and up have that proportion valve. So, and there's many CRVs here. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So luckily, this one that has the engine, the hood closed, has the correct proportion valve. So I just want to see how many miles does this thing have. Also 244. It's crazy. On my head. All right, let's cut this. I'm just gonna cut this out. I'm not gonna bother with this. See? We really scored on this, guys. There was like 6 CRVs there, and not one of them, the first 4 I went to, were all like 98 and up. There was a EK Honda Civic, like a 96 sedan, and somebody had literally cut it just the same way. I wish I would have got that on camera. But this has been holding us back from actually getting this car, from actually, really doing stuff. So now that that's in, or that we have this little piece, it cost me $30. It was gonna cost me like $60 or $50 to get it shipped, and I had to wait like 2 weeks. We don't have time for that. I mean, that's just eBay's like estimate shipping time, but we got it. Now we could set that. So now we'll be able to get that done today, and we'll be able to run the clutch line, which means that all the stuff on the firewall will be done, and we could probably start assembling the engine and transmission. All right, we're back at the shop, and we got what we've been looking for. And these are way better than the 94s to 95s, because these don't have any serviceable parts. So the reason why the other ones leak is because they have gaskets. I don't know where it is right now, but it's 2 pieces. There's a top piece and a bottom piece that go together with some O-rings and some gaskets in there, and they fail over time. So these are sealed systems which don't fail at all, which means we're gonna be good forever. The only issue is Brother Curvis did take his riv tool gun home. I spoke about yesterday where we take all our good tools home. So unfortunately, we can't set this on there today, but we're still gonna find a way to make it happen, because this being on there puts us days and weeks ahead. I don't know if the spacing here is correct. This seems like it's too far out already. That spacing's off. I think the other one goes right here. Yeah, it goes like between these two. And this is the you know, this flat side, that's the back, I think. Yeah, there's no bolt here. So I think it was somewhere in this range. So as you can tell, the stud's not long enough to make it happen. So we have to find a way to put it either here, or we can bring it down to like right around here. Doesn't really matter. What does matter is, which we'll go grab in a second, we're gonna run the clutch line first, because the clutch line I think goes right here. And then all this stuff will be the same. So because the clutch line has to go through here, we want to kind of run the clutch line, and then this will go in front of the clutch line, so we can figure out where we want to put this. So far, this is what we got. We traced the proportion valve, and this is where the two mounting holes are going to be. So essentially, we want this to be right at this crevice, so there's enough space that we can put a nut behind the plate that we use, and put two nuts in it, and that'll basically hold it in. So we want that to be fall into place like right here. So this is more or less the angle that we want. And then we want, so we gotta figure out the angle, because I think we have a brake line coming up here, one here, and then one down here. It'll have to go like this. So I guess it would have to go. And then here would have to go kind of like, I know it doesn't make a lot of sense, but let's go over there or let me go trace this in marker so it can make sense and you guys can see it. Because right now, there's nothing but a bunch of lines and a bunch of holes that we're not using. This is what I'm thinking the bracket would look like. So this is the stud on the firewall. This is the stud on the firewall, and then this is the mounting hole on the actual proportionate valve. So a bracket like this, a nice flat piece of metal. We can either use our old jigs or whatever metal we have that could replicate this, and that'll hold it there. There you go. So this is one of the brackets that we actually used when we were doing the front frame rails. This was I think this was the driver's side and the passenger side. We flipped it and used on the other side. So that's why it already has all these holes. And we use this to kind of hold the two things together as we were welding it. So now it's gonna get purpose for the third time. And it's pretty thick metal. So it's definitely not gonna move, even though the proportional valve doesn't have any pressure going to it. So the only thing we gotta do right now is give it some fresh coat of paint. We'll use something, let's use this rust reformer. Just wanna use something that is black and it's gonna dry fast. Shake it up. There you go. Interesting how it already has runs on it. This thing is gonna be completely covered by the proportional valve, so we just wanted to not stand out. All right, this thing should dry pretty quickly. I think it's got a drip already. Okay. All right, so it'll be nice and black. Look, that side's already dry. We'll let that dry up for a bit. We still gotta drill the two holes for the actual proportionate valve. And then we also gotta walk into the parts room. Our beautiful door that we have to fix. Get a new door. much better. And let's pull this thing off the wall because we're gonna have to use this. And this is the OEM clutch line that we were talking about in yesterday's video. In retrospect, now going through all that I'm going through, I should have just bought stock clutch master cylinder and I would have avoided this. So for this, we're gonna be using everything right of this joint. So everything that way, and then this line is what goes to the clutch master. So this one we just have to remove and we'll have to redo with the stainless steel that we picked up for the brake lines. See if we can manage to do this without blocking. Ah, this is hot. All right, so I think this clutch line goes right here. Yeah, that makes sense. Does it make sense? Okay. So, I don't remember where this goes, but I know this goes here for a fact. Okay, there you go. So then this bracket goes, it just has to go down a little bit. Go right there. We'll put the brake line through there. So this is where it needs to be now. But now I feel like this is still too far out. Why is this? This goes somewhere else. This goes right here. This goes right here like that. And this bracket goes right here like this. Okay. And that's the clutch line. This goes onto the car, onto the sleeve. Perfect. Okay, there you go. Okay. Got these 10s. These are like OEM 10mm bolts, OEM style. Same thread pitch, same look. So we'll put one up here. Thread it a little bit. Same thing down here. And then we're gonna force it in there. So here's our bracket. Here's our bracket, proportion valve, line up the holes. So here it is. They're in now. So now we're gonna put 2 nuts behind this. I think these studs may be too long and they may actually hit the firewall once these are in. So we might have to trim these. Okay. So here they are. So before I install it, let's just test fit it. Okay, so they actually do not hit, which is even better for us. All right, so there it is. That was my idea of fixing the proportion valve, which I think I did. I think this came out pretty good, guys. All things considered, to get this today, make this bracket and quickly do this, I think that looks good. It's stout, it's not going nowhere, but the whole car's moving, so that's pretty good. And this doesn't really hold pressure. It just needs to be pretty stout. I think if anything, we overbuilt it. And once everything's in here, you're not gonna be even able to tell. Let's see if we can quickly bend this clutch line, because your boy gotta go. June is a terrible month for me to be doing this 30 for 30, but because I have a huge family and they're always doing things, and you know, you want to be part of everything, not show up late to people's events. So you know, something's got to sacrifice, and family's number one on my list, so I hope you guys understand. With that being said, guys, thank you for tuning in. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Check out our social medias where we're doing a breakout for every new subscriber we get in the month of June. I think today's day 28, so we have 3 days left, or today's and 2 more. So with that being said, guys, catch you guys tomorrow for another video. Peace.